What is YouTube? How y'all doing, man? Check it out, man. I'm looking at Ali Carter confronts Jaguar Wright live on the Expo. Oh man, that's something. Hey, sorry, man. I'm sorry. I've been coughing and everything. I hope I ain't coming down with no cold. Jaguar Wright exposes Tyler Perry's secret. Twink. What that mean? Twink. Payroll and male victims. Whoa. Shout out to Jaguar Wright. I ain't heard too much about Jaguar Wright. Big homie CC. Where my people's at, man? I hope everybody doing well. I hope y'all doing well. I hope Jaguar and everybody's doing well. I got the Jaguar t-shirt, man. I would show it to y'all, but y'all seen it already. I show it. Yeah, I'm a supporter, baby. I really supports. Anyway, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's get into this bad boy. Let's check it out.
Been some sexual assault claims. There have been some sexual assault claims made by him. It's a chap called Derek Dixon, and it's a $260 million lawsuit. 260. And it's interesting because he is Lilibet's godfather. He revealed this on the Netflix show. He appeared as a character witness for Harry and Meghan in their...
Chili, let us tell you. The streets of Hollywood are hotter than a deep fryer at a Sunday fish fry, and baby Tyler Perry is at the center of it all. You might want to grab your tea, your snacks, and maybe even your pearls, because what we're about to unpack is enough to make Medea herself take a seat. Tyler Perry, the billionaire who built an empire on the backs of black stories, some uplifting, some controversial, is now facing allegations that could bring his carefully curated kingdom crashing down. And trust us, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill Hollywood gossip. This is scandal, betrayal, and power, all wrapped up in one messy package.
Filed lawsuit accuses Tyler Perry of assaulting an actor on one of the filmmaker's shows. Actor Derek Dixon has sued Perry for $260 million.
First, let's get straight to the bombshell. Actor Derek Dixon, a name you might recognize from his recurring role on The Oval, has filed a jaw-dropping lawsuit against Perry. How much, you ask? A staggering $260 million. That's right. $260 million. But it's not the dollar signs that have everyone clutching their wigs. It's the allegations behind this lawsuit. Dixon is accusing Perry of using his massive influence in Hollywood to create what he calls a coercive exploitative dynamic. Allegedly, Perry promised Dixon the world. A glittering career, creative opportunities, the works, but with a dark and twisted price tag attached. According to the lawsuit, Dixon claims Perry's so-called mentorship masked a chilling reality. He alleges that Perry's advances weren't just verbal, they escalated to physical encounters that Dixon refused to consent to. One incident detailed in the lawsuit supposedly happened right on the set of The Oval. Perry allegedly cornered Dixon in a private trailer, interrogated him about his personal life, and then crossed physical boundaries in a way that's left Dixon traumatized. And if that wasn't enough, Perry allegedly wielded his power like a weapon, threatening Dixon's career if he didn't comply. The lawsuit even claims that Perry flat out told Dixon that his character on The Oval would be written off if he didn't keep him happy. Let that sink in for a second.
Of the timeline that it took for Derek Dixon to come forward with these allegations, if they're true.
Well, that's one of the arguments the defense always makes, right? Is, well, if you were assaulted or harassed, why did you stay? Why didn't you report it right away? What I love as the plaintiff's lawyer is a contemporaneous report. So hopefully they have that. And I understand he's been getting therapy since 2020.
Of course, Perry's camp has been quick to deny the allegations, branding Dixon's claims as nothing more than a fabricated shakedown. His lawyer confidently told the press that Perry will not be shaken down and that the lawsuit will ultimately fail. But while Perry's legal team paints this as a baseless money grab, the whispers around Hollywood are telling a different story. Could this be the beginning of a larger reckoning for Perry, a man who's long been hailed as a savior for Black Hollywood? And more importantly, if these allegations have even a shred of truth, what does that say about the industry's complicity in protecting its most powerful players? This lawsuit has cracked open a door that many in Hollywood would rather keep locked tight, the so-called casting couch culture that insiders have whispered about for years. There's already buzz about a secret network of mentorship dinners, allegedly orchestrated by Perry's team. These dinners, according to sources who've chosen to remain anonymous, were supposedly designed to scout young, vulnerable talent under the guise of professional opportunities. But insiders claim these gatherings allegedly had a much darker undertone. Promising actors would leave these meetings feeling trapped in a web of secrecy, pressured to sign non-disclosure agreements that kept them from speaking out. Was this Perry's way of silencing potential whistleblowers before they even had a chance to come forward? And if these whispers are true, just how deep does this rabbit hole go?
Certainly be helpful. In addition to the text message evidence that we had, sometimes victims don't want to come forward, right? You're talking about a rich and famous individual. And look at what's happened. Perry's lawyer came out and said, this guy's lying. This is a shakedown. This is extortion, right? They always go after the victim. And we don't know if the allegations are true in this case or not, but very few harassment cases are reported or litigated.
And let's not forget that Perry's empire isn't just built on his creative genius. It's built on his immense wealth. With a reported net worth of over $1 billion, Perry is one of the most powerful figures in entertainment. He owns one of the largest film studios in the world, a sprawling 330-acre complex in Atlanta that's bigger than Warner Bros. And Disney's lots combined. This studio has been a beacon for Black creatives, a place where Perry has promised opportunities that Hollywood has historically denied. But as Dixon's lawsuit gains traction, it's worth asking, has this billion-dollar fortress also served as a shield, insulating Perry from accountability? Perry's philanthropic image has always been one of his strongest assets. He's a man who's paid off grocery bills, donated millions to disaster relief, and even opened his own studio on the grounds of a former Confederate Army base, a symbolic middle finger to America's racist history. But as the public begins to peel back the layers of Perry's carefully constructed persona, some are now questioning whether his good deeds have been used as a smokescreen. Has Tyler Perry been hiding behind his reputation as a Black Hollywood savior to disarm critics and deflect scrutiny? And if so, how far will his empire go to protect its king? And honey, let's not forget the timing of all this. This lawsuit isn't just a scandal. It's a scandal with context. Just last year, Sean Diddy Combs was hit with his own wave of allegations, resulting in a federal investigation that's already landed him behind bars. Hollywood insiders are now drawing parallels between Diddy's downfall and the claims against Perry, with some predicting that this could be the start of a broader reckoning for powerful Black moguls. Could Perry's empire, like Diddy's, be on the verge of collapse? And if so, what does that mean for the countless actors, writers, and crew members who've depended on his studio to break into an industry that's long been dominated by white gatekeepers?
Come forward, because if you're a victim, you're going to have to really tell your story in a very, very public way. What is interesting, though, is under California law, he could have filed as a John Doe or a Jane Doe, and he chose not to. So I thought that was interesting.
But wait, because this story isn't just about lawsuits and allegations. It's about the cracks forming in Perry's golden image. For years, he's been celebrated as a trailblazer, a man who writes, directs, and produces his own projects without the creative interference of Hollywood executives. But critics have long argued that Perry's work often perpetuates harmful stereotypes about Black people, especially women. And now, with these allegations surfacing, his creative choices are being viewed through a darker lens, where those stories of power imbalances and exploitation in his films, the controlling husbands, the manipulative bosses, the desperate characters forced into compromising situations, a reflection of something more personal. And let's not forget the growing chatter about Perry's strained relationships within the industry. Remember his infamous feud with comedian Monique? She's spent years accusing Perry, along with Oprah Winfrey and Lee Daniels, of blackballing her for refusing to participate in unpaid promo tours for Precious. Monique even claims to have secretly recorded an apology from Perry, though he allegedly reneged on it when she refused to meet his condition. Could Perry's alleged behavior behind the scenes be part of a larger pattern? And if so, how many others in Hollywood have been silenced or sidelined?
You know, I think that when I first had to say, I've got to speak up.
The whispers of dissent are growing louder, and Hollywood is beginning to take notice. Some insiders are even speculating that the allegations against Perry could spark a wave of new claims as other actors and crew members feel emboldened to speak out. Could this be the beginning of a surviving Tyler Perry moment? Or will Perry's billion-dollar empire with its army of lawyers and PR experts find a way to weather the storm and continue business as usual? For now, all eyes are on Derek Dixon and his $260 million lawsuit. Will his claims hold up in court? Or will Perry's legal team dismantle his case piece by piece? One thing is certain, this story is far from over. And as more details emerge, we'll be here uncovering every shocking twist and turn.
I said, oh, no. If you just campaign, I'm telling you right now, I said, Tyler, I cannot do a song and dance. I have no contract.
But what if Derek Dixon isn't the only one? What if this lawsuit is just the first crack in an iceberg of allegations waiting to surface? The rumors swirling around Tyler Perry don't stop at a single lawsuit. In fact, whispers of a Hollywood blacklist tied to his empire have been circulating for years. We've heard countless stories of actors and writers who, after clashing with Perry or refusing to play by his rules, suddenly found themselves on the outside looking in. These aren't just random coincidences. They paint a chilling picture of a silent, insidious power play. Imagine this. You've landed the role of your dreams on one of Perry's hit shows, or maybe you've been given the opportunity to write on a production under his billion-dollar brand. Then, one wrong move, a disagreement, a rejection, a demand for fair treatment, and you're out. Not just out of the project, but out of the industry. Sources claim that a career-ending shadow hangs over those who dare to challenge Perry's authority. Certain performers have reportedly been removed from programs without any clarification, their roles suddenly eliminated or recast. Others claim they've been blacklisted from auditions, told quietly by casting directors that working with Perry has made them hard to hire. How many careers have been quietly destroyed, and how many voices have been silenced to keep this empire intact?
And I hate to throw Tyler Perry under the bus, but Tyler Perry is very successful. But he does the same thing to our people, the same way Hollywood does.
We've seen this before in Hollywood, haven't we? Powerful figures using their influence to control not just the narrative, but the very careers of those who dare to stand against them. But what makes Perry's alleged blacklist so much more insidious is the silence surrounding it. Unlike the loud and public scandals of other moguls, Perry's power lies in his ability to keep things quiet. There's no public outcry, no flashy headlines, just a string of careers that mysteriously stall or fade into obscurity. It's a system that thrives on fear. Fear of speaking out, fear of never working again, fear of being erased. And if you think Derek Dixon's story is the only one, think again. There are rumors, unconfirmed but persistent, of other victims lurking in the shadows, too afraid to come forward. Anonymous tips tell of actors who were allegedly pressured into compromising situations only to be replaced when they pushed back. Some claim they were written out of scripts entirely, their characters disappearing without a trace. Others say they were offered contracts that locked them into silence, with NDA agreements that threatened ruin if they dared to speak up. It's a haunting reality. How many more stories will stay buried, and how many more lives will be left in ruins before Hollywood takes a stand?
Because even when you win an Oscar, it doesn't guarantee you money. Even when you've done certain things, it doesn't guarantee you money.
One anonymous source who claims to have worked on the set of one of Perry's productions described an atmosphere of paranoia and control. You didn't question anything, they said. You didn't complain. If you did, you weren't there long. People disappeared overnight, actors, crew, even writers, and no one ever talked about why. That kind of fear doesn't just come from the top, it trickles down, creating a culture where silence becomes survival. How many people have watched their colleagues vanish and chosen to say nothing, knowing they could be next? What's even more chilling is the psychological toll that such alleged manipulation and exploitation can leave behind. For the individuals who find themselves caught in these power dynamics, the scars often go far deeper than the loss of a job or a stalled career. Being forced into silence, feeling powerless, and watching opportunities slip away creates an emotional weight that is nearly impossible to shake. Victims of these situations often report feelings of isolation, a loss of trust in others, and the haunting fear that speaking out will only lead to retaliation. In an industry where success is built on connections and reputations, this fear is paralyzing, leaving many to suffer in silence as their mental health deteriorates.
And people get caught up in the illusion of Hollywood. People really get caught up in this. The
emotional aftermath isn't just about fear. It's about the erosion of self-worth. When individuals are treated as disposable or coerced into compromising situations, it can shatter their confidence and sense of identity. For actors and creatives whose work so often hinges on vulnerability and authenticity, this betrayal has an even sharper sting. Victims may begin to question their own value, wondering if they were ever truly talented or deserving, or if every opportunity they earned was tied to something sinister. This internalized shame can lead to long-term struggles with anxiety, depression, and even withdrawal from the industry altogether, robbing Hollywood of voices that might have otherwise flourished. And then there's the systemic silence, a silence that doesn't just protect the powerful but perpetuates the trauma. When an industry turns a blind eye to these behaviors or shrugs them off as just the way things are, it sends a dangerous message to those suffering in the shadows. It tells them that their pain doesn't matter, that their careers and mental well-being are sacrifices to the untouchable status of the elite. This toxic dynamic leaves victims feeling abandoned, not just by the perpetrators, but by an entire system that should have been there to protect them. How many talented individuals have been lost to this cycle of exploitation, and how many more will Hollywood fail before real change takes hold?
But when African Americans make it and they get to the top, they try to help other people, but they don't really take care of the people.
And yet, for all the fear, there's a growing sense that the dam is about to break. Derek Dixon's lawsuit is just the beginning. There's already chatter about more individuals coming forward, emboldened by his bravery. And if the rumors are true, the upcoming unauthorized documentary, Maxines Monster, Surviving Tyler Perry, could blow this story wide open. The 3-part series is said to feature interviews with alleged victims, industry insiders, and even former collaborators of Perry who've stayed quiet until now. The title alone is enough to send shockwaves through Hollywood, a direct challenge to Perry's carefully crafted public image. What will this documentary reveal? And more importantly, will it finally force Hollywood to confront the darker side of one of its most celebrated moguls? The timing couldn't be more critical. With Hollywood already grappling with its own reckoning, from the fallout of Diddy's arrest to the ongoing scrutiny of other powerful figures, the industry is at a crossroads. Will it continue to protect its golden geese, or will it finally take a stand for accountability, no matter how powerful the accused? Tyler Perry's empire may have been built on the promise of opportunity and representation, but if the allegations are true, it's also been built on a foundation of silence, fear, and exploitation. And let's not forget the ripple effect this could have. Perry's brand is more than just his productions. It's an entire machine that includes partnerships with Netflix, Amazon, and BET. If these allegations gain traction, will these companies be forced to reconsider their relationships with him? Could we see a domino effect where the very platforms that have benefited from Perry's work are called to answer for their complicity? Hollywood isn't just watching, it's holding its breath.
And devalue because of what we look like.
Right.
However, when it comes to Tyler Perry, I will not allow you to discount or devalue.
But where does this leave us, the audience? The fans who've supported Perry's work, who've laughed with Medea, who found solace in his stories of faith and redemption. Do we turn a blind eye, or do we demand more? Do we hold him accountable, or do we risk losing one of the few voices that has consistently championed Black stories in mainstream entertainment? It's a complicated, messy, and deeply emotional question, one that doesn't have easy answers. As we wrap this up, we can't help but feel that the story of Tyler Perry is far from over. With the lawsuit gaining steam, the whispers of a blacklist growing louder, and the release of Maxines Monster on the horizon, Hollywood is standing on the edge of a scandal that could change everything. Tyler Perry's empire may be on the verge of collapse, and if the stories coming to light are true, this could expose one of the most disturbing scandals Hollywood has ever seen. But the question remains, how much longer can the truth be suppressed? And when it finally comes out, will it be enough to dismantle the empire that Tyler Perry has spent decades building? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, stay tuned for more updates. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your ears to the ground, and remember, the truth always finds its way to the surface. Bye for now.
One of the things I want to do, I want to show y'all this one little clip real quick, man. This guy right here, I really believe this guy right here because he was friends with Tyler. So, and this guy is saying that he was born gay. So if that's what he believes, so he been attracted to men for a long period of time. And he was saying that Tyler is hiding it. Why would you want to hide it? So check this out real quick, man. I just want to show y'all this real quick. Oh, I forgot I had it on mute, y'all. I'm always doing things. I'm producing stuff while the video is playing.
Tyler Perry is gay. I know he's gay. He knows he's gay. We all have friends that know he's gay. I've hung around Tyler Perry. I've known Tyler Perry for years. Tyler Perry is hiding in the closet, trying to hide his sexuality and not really doing a good job about it when you stop and think about it.
In 2013.
And also, this guy, they talked, even on this video, I'm not going to play the whole video. They talked about Tyler Perry actually, this guy has a YouTube channel. And for years, he been talking about this type of stuff way before all this stuff came up, is the point I was going to make. Look here, I'm going to get on up out of here. This was supposed to be about Jaguar Wright, man. I ain't heard nothing. I ain't say too much about my girl, Jaguar. Hey, y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.